Well, hey folks, Species 7 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Farm Sim 19. We are here, of course, on the new Alpine DLC map. And, well, since the last time we visited the farm, there have been some fairly major changes to the game. And I am, of course, talking about... No, that wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. It's a funny place for a big rock. Well, although they're calling it a DLC, they're also calling it a mod. And that is, of course, this whole precision farming. Yeah, I guess they were getting a little nervous when they saw the lengths that cattle and crops have gone to make the farming experience a little more realistic. But I think it's a good step. Now, I'm sure by now you guys have all seen the big channels with their quote-unquote experts who seem to be able to do tutorials an hour after a DLC is launched. Although, I'll be honest with you, as someone that is professionally trained in soil management, I certainly wouldn't be able to claim that I would be an expert on it. Not without having used every aspect of it, including the fact of waiting until, well, you had positive results from it. I.e., it's one thing to find out that your soil is really sandy, or sandy loam, or loamy sand, or whatever you want it to be. It's entirely another to go through the various stages of balancing the soil out, changing the pH, although I see that that's a one-way trip, which is kind of unrealistic. Adding lime is always going to raise it. There are occasions when you may need to lower pH to get it back within standards. So, but again, I mean, a good start, and it's certainly more than they've offered us to this point, so cool. And it kind of gives us a reason, I guess, to be spreading lime, as opposed to just, oh, according to the map, I have to spread more lime. So yeah, we will get to that as it's needed. Now, I had considered starting over because of these changes, and we kind of built ourselves a field based on, well, just the fact it was a convenient place to do it, which may not be entirely the best. Oh yeah, right, I purposely left that there, didn't I? Soak some of it up. Okay. Well, it's a heck of a hill, but we'll try it. So yeah, I am anxious to... Nice. Oh. Are you gonna stay? You are, aren't you? Cool. I'm anxious to see what it brings us, but I didn't want to start over because, well, I mean, we can go and test the soil where we've... Ooh, slowing down a little here. Mind you, it's quite a field. We can certainly test the soil, and I'm going to. I'm not going to be able to afford to buy the equipment at this point because, well, we're just a poor old farm, and, just because they've introduced new math, it doesn't mean we're ready to go out and buy new books and stuff. So, we will lease the equipment, and we'll test to see if our field is going to really be good. But by the same token, I don't have a lot of choice, right? We have a field there. All I can do now is hope we can make the best of it. Now, I'm not going to go through all the new stuff that it involves all in one bunch. Like, this is not a review of the new mod. This is just another day of farming. And as such, we will do things as we get to them. So, and again, as I said, I'm sure that most or all of you have already seen the big YouTubers review the mod, etc. So I don't think I don't need to do that. We will, I'll introduce the mod the way I do pretty much all of the mods that I use. When it comes time to take the thing out of the box and make use of it, well, we'll take it out of the box and make use of it. Okay, this is a heck of an angle. You're going to come right there. Yep. I'm going to bump this, try to put it down. Oh, no way. You're actually an inch off the back. Maybe you will stay. Nice. So yeah, as we need the different things, I am kind of curious, of course, as to what it has to say about my particular farm. And we do have a bunch more, you know, for instance, they've added a tab here, right? Precision farming. Yeah, there's no soil samples yet, so we don't really know what our soil types are, right? No. Or pHs as far as that goes. I think okay, so that doesn't change. Interesting. So that'll give us pH. This will give us our nitrogen. Odd, eh? There's just a couple of sort of scrapings where we've mowed down grass. And the yield is down to like 60%. That's kind of strange. Yeah. And none of this shows, of course, because we have not taken any samples. And there is an entire new help menu as well that goes along with this, as we can see. Right? Unfortunately, this isn't this map. Or we'd be able to kind of cheat our way into seeing things. So, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to rent this guy and just check out our new field. Let's see how that goes, eh? Yeah, no gas at all. We'll just coast down the hill. There we go. And, just on a different point, I mentioned not too long ago that come the end of the year here, i.e. the end of December, which is, scarily enough, not that far away, stop your beeping and spit it out, boy. Just like my kitty this morning. She stopped beeping and spit it all out. Anyway, yeah. I did mention that come the end of the year, I'm going to be dropping my Patreon channel. The reason for it is I'm absolutely disgusted with YouTube, basically, is what it boils down to. I am disgusted with the sheer amount of freaking advertising. Like, I like watching YouTube, you know, when I'm doing my 3 times a day, kilometer and a bit on the treadmill. I watch YouTube while it's going on. What the heck have we done here? And why is this bale where it is? Interesting. I think the final icing on the cake is all of the videos that were produced before we had the choice of what we want to do with ads have been completely filled, i.e. non-skippables, front, center, and end. Plus, even people who they're not monetizing, i.e. they don't have enough viewers, don't have enough views, don't have enough time viewed, whatever the reason, they're running ads on all of those videos, and those people don't even get the choice of opting out of it. When I upload a video, I do have the choice of just simply unchecking everything to do with ads. But then, of course, I make nothing off of YouTube. And I put a lot of hours in, so that would seem a bit of an old shooting yourself in the foot maneuver. Now, I gotta admit, Patreon kind of saves my bacon just about every month. That little bit that I do get helps phenomenally. Absolutely phenomenally. So I am loath to get rid of it, but years ago, I dropped cable TV. Not because I didn't think anything was on. If nothing else, there's local news, which has got to be better than, trying to find a good news source online and stuff like that. No, I have found one, thank you. But you know what I mean, right? There are some advantages to being able to actually have that. So, I dropped it because I didn't think it was fair that you not only had to pay for cable TV, but everything you were watching was being paid for by all of the freaking ridiculous ads. And I don't appreciate them basically charging me twice for the same product. Because that's what it is. When we used to have the old analog TV, the way it worked was commercials paid for the programming. So you stuck a set of rabbit ears on your TV and could watch for free, because you had to put up with commercials. Now, of course, we know it just doesn't work that way anymore. Right? Now you have to pay incredible amounts for cable TV, and you have to put up with also watching ads. So I dumped cable TV, and I told the cable company it's because I basically think they're stealing from people. They found that kind of amusing, but that's another story. So we fast forward to now, and here I am on YouTube, and I'm basically doing the same thing by having a Patreon channel. I'm not only saying, hey, you guys have to watch all of these freaking ads, although I do make them all skippable. Nonetheless, I know how annoying it is when, I'm doing this, and all of a sudden, because YouTube only does it in places that are convenient for the videos, in the middle of my sentence, you're suddenly, oh, I gotta skip these ads. Oh, wait, in 4 seconds. Oh, then then the second one comes on. Because they'll count it as skippable, even if you can't skip the first ad. As long as you don't have to watch them all to completion, it's considered skippable. So I've noticed they're doing that, too. They'll run double ads. The first one, of course, you can't skip because there's a second ad queued. And the second one you can skip after, the 5 seconds or whatever it is. Yeah, so that's basically the idea behind it. If you guys are already paying to watch my channel by having to put up with God knows how many ads, whether you can skip them or not, that is just a time saver. It doesn't, for any way, shape, or form, change the actual annoyance of having that ad come up in the middle of something you were watching, breaking the immersion, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's an annoyance. And that's how you're paying for what you're watching, by being annoyed. Okay, this... yeah, we're gonna have to shut this guy off for a sec, because we are not going to be parking that puppy there. Oops. It's not what I wanted to do. There we go, that should do. Let's put you out there. Now, I don't want to put you on the road where a car might hit you, but... there we go. I don't want you rolling off into oblivion so I lose you either. Now, let's get backed up so we can suck up all that grass. Oh, it sucks it up in reverse, doesn't it? It does. Like, sometimes I forget about that, you know? So yeah, somewhere between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to shut the channel down for a few days. And when I open it back up again, I'm going to shut it down because I want to, for one thing, I want to get rid of that annoying activate Windows thing in the bottom of my screen. Yes, I am running a legitimate copy of Windows 10 that was an upgrade from a paid copy of Windows 8.1. The issue is, kind of unknowingly, or rather unwittingly, however you want to put it, I also installed the exact same one on a computer that I sold. I was doing some work on an older machine, got it all functioning, got Windows installed, and sold it to a neighbor cheap because they had nothing. Unfortunately, my legal activation, or whatever the heck Microsoft wants to put it, went with that machine. I thought I'd use, because I downloaded a new image file from Microsoft. Yeah, but it turned out somewhere, no doubt through fault of my own, I managed to, you know, check a wrong box on the way through, and yeah, my legally licensed key that replaced my 8.1 is now on a computer that, last I heard, some partygoers had actually completely trashed at the person's house. So, yeah. Alright, let's get you put up here. Ooh, that is steep, isn't it? Maybe about there. So yeah, I'm going to, but when I do that, the other thing I've noticed, because I've kind of been, and it's something you'll run into a fair bit if you deal with the technical end of building computers and stuff, is this machine has been built in stages. You know, get a new one of these, add it. Oh, I'm going to expand storage, so I'm adding an SSD, and now I'm going to add an NVMe, you know, and I've got my two big spin disks for doing video stuff and storage, and, well, it's kind of reached a point where I've got stuff spread over drives that I don't want them on, and there's things that appear to be copies on one drive to another. Bottom line, it's a mess. So I'm going to be pretty much scrubbing my entire machine. Now, I will save, or keep the saves, I should say, from things like, you know, Farm Sim and a couple of the other more longer running series, but for the most part, yeah, I'm going to go get everything back as close to a fresh install of all things that I can. And we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah, that's exactly where I want that, isn't it? So yeah, something to keep in mind. As I say, this will be Oh, look, now that appears on the mini-map, the yield thing. Great. This will be the last month where I will be accepting any sort of donations towards the Patreon, until such time as YouTube either changes its policies or, decides to quit paying me. I started it because with that particular MMC or whatever the heck they are that I was using, no matter how many videos I put up, they took so much of it that, I wasn't even covering the cost of, wear and tear on my mouse, leave alone actually, all of the time and effort and stuff put in. And like I said, you guys have literally saved my butt on many occasions, and I am going to miss it dearly. But, a person's got to have some kind of principles. And charging you guys to watch, what, let's face it, at best is, questionable entertainment value. I mean, these are my gameplay videos. But charging twice for it, yeah, that's, even I can't be that much of a hypocrite. So yeah, come the end of December, I will no longer have that. I haven't figured out yet. I've looked around on the site. I haven't actually figured out how you simply shut the thing down. If any of you have experience with it, let me know. Maybe I'm just looking at the wrong page or something. But, yeah. And then, like I said, I will be down for a few days as I rearrange. At the same time, I'm also going to be setting up a home security system. My entire apartment currently is Alexa run. She heard me, hang on. Okay, she stopped listening. Yeah, you sometimes forget you have to watch what you say. But yeah, I'm going to be adding security cameras, as there are issues here, I'm afraid, in our small town. As wonderful a place as it is, we have our share of undesirables, and they're more than willing to take advantage of the fact that, well, things are not exactly normal these days. So for the benefit of myself as well as my neighbor, I will be installing security. But, yeah, there you go. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that, remind you. Those of you that are my sponsors, again, big, super thank you guys. But, yeah. Freaking YouTube, man. Now, I also realize it is Saturday when this video goes up. So, what I'll do for tomorrow's episode, and we are getting a little extra time on the FS19 this week. Normally I would either split it between the two, 17 and 19, or, something similar to that. But yeah, I think we're just going to... I'm running this episode now mainly just to get the bit about the changes at the end of the month, because that time is drawing close. You know, I'm sure those of you that have family and friends and such and celebrate Christmas are probably all tied up in that particular coming event. But that also signifies the end of the year. So, yeah. Like I said, I want to scrub my computer. I want to put a proper licensed copy of Windows 10 on it. And go from there. As well as I say, once and for all. Well, maybe not for all. As I said, if YouTube's monetary system finally collapses under the weight of its own BS, I may have to once again go into the wilds and ask for some help with this. But for now, and with the way things are in the world at the moment, yeah, I think we're just kind of done with that. Well, that might be a little steep. Let's maybe just park it up that way a little bit. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to end this episode in a couple of minutes here. I know this isn't the most exciting one. We've just been running around bailing. But it's also very necessary because we're going to need all the grass we can get, man. Let me tell you. In all its forms. So, yeah. But what we're going to do in tomorrow's episode is I will lease the little John Deere runabout machine there with its soil sample and pathingy on the back. And we'll get down and figure out, well, a couple things. One, where a good place for perhaps a second field would be in this, you know, because we do own this, and I think most of that up there, maybe. But yeah, we could probably use a second field in the near future. And we'll also, of course, do a more complete sampling on the field that we've just cut in there fairly recently. I'm not going to do any more fertilizing to it or any of that sort of thing until we have done the sampling. So, we'll see how that goes. And in all honesty, I look forward to any sort of advances towards a more realistic farming experience that Giants does decide to put in. You know, as I said a couple episodes back, I did sort of have high hopes that with this new system coming in, that they might become a little more proactive about a more sustainable version of farming. But it looks like what they're actually doing is like I say, just kind of justifying some things that are in place already, you know. Because truth be told, we had absolutely no reason to be lining the fields other than the game telling us, more you need to line your field. You know, now we will. So, when they start getting into things like non-destructive farming and that sort of thing, then, yeah, I might jump up and go, am I not cutting this? No, I'm not. I didn't turn the mower back on. Good job, bud. Then I might be really super impressed with where they're going with all of this. In the meantime, I'm going to consider it a work in progress and see what it does for us. I guess we're going to have to grease. I'm just trying to round that corner a little more. In here, these 90-degree turns are just a place for grass to get lost in. So yeah, a little bit of a rambly episode, but yeah, every once in a while I guess we just have things to say. Yeah. How'd she get? So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I do appreciate those of you that are following the series and watching. Like I said, tomorrow's episode we will get into this new precision farming mod and have a look at a bit of the bits and bobs that go with it. And yeah, find out if our newly planted barley field is likely to be a gooder or not. It's one of those things, it's probably way too late to do anything about it. You know, I mean, even fertilizer-wise, if it has started to pop yet, and I'm not sure that it has, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, that's not where we want that to come out. Shut the mower off and back up the hill here. There we go. Get you back up onto the level. How's that look? Oh, that's still quite the hill, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to trust you to stay there. Alright, perfect. Alright, guys. Do take care of each other. Have yourselves an absolutely extraordinary weekend. And we'll catch you here tomorrow. Hit that like button. Ciao for now.